Okay, so I understand that this is Monday. It's not the best time, but I really appreciate you coming because I was just wondering what is really so interesting for you, so good for you to sacrifice half an hour, 40 minutes from your precious lifetime and spend it together. So could you please share briefly? Why are you in a hurry every Monday to come and be part of this session? What is your motivator? Steffi, could you please tell us?
All right. I'm not sure if I can fit in a few minutes.
Oh, really?
But yeah, but I'll
Okay.
try.
Okay, you have more than several minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me personally, it's very interesting to discuss such topics with people like you. Of course, it's always interesting to discuss them with Lubomir. But
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah, but you discuss with Lubomir all the time, so...
Yes, and this is why this is even more interesting because new ideas are passing through, and sometimes I might not be, I might not agree, but still there is something that makes me think in a different way. And
Okay.
it's
It's
interesting.
it's enough for you to drive and be in a hurry to come and join the session. Wow.
This is one part. Of course, this is one part. Of course, it is very often very very funny and just spending a nice time that everybody should have such time for, I don't know, something social.
Hmm,
Yeah.
interesting. Oh, hello. We have Panayot here. Welcome.
No.
Okay, so Lubomir, what about you? You're discussing all the time with everyone.
Yes, but for us it's very interesting when we talked about different topics because in our session we analyze topics which I didn't know, and I can improve after that after our sessions. Our discussion is productive and uh, mm, very interesting for me because it's a new, how can I,
Mhm.
new category, new, it's something new for me.
Hmm,
Yes,
interesting.
because uh, at this this moment uh, I do different things, but at the moment I never thinking about it, and it was very interesting. And I when I use our when we discuss, I use this experience, these examples, not experience, these examples in the my in the real life, and
So
I can
it's quite
see.
useful for you.
Yes, I can see, and it's not at the worst place my improvement because it's a new skill. If I because we're busy people, all of us, but when we have motivation, we have um, inspiration about we can learn and we can improve.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is what keeps me really wondering because you too, I know that you drive quite a long way to come back home and be on time. And I do appreciate that very much. Thank you. Because you are more than regular. You are with us every time. Well, with one exception when you were somewhere on Miami Beach. But this is something that I really admire. Mariana, what about you? Why do you join these sessions? What are they helpful in any way, or could you please share?
Well, here I have the possibility to talk to intelligent people
Oh, thank you.
and to learn something new. I know that it's not my place to be here.
Why not?
I am
Do you
I
feel
am
like
the
this place?
smallest of the like. So, it's not my place.
Why do you think so?
Me too.
Do we have some standard just for big people here? And who is the biggest?
I don't know. I don't know anything. My life is so every
You
day
are
repeating.
not right. Absolutely. So this is the girl who is studying Esperanto. Who of you speaks Esperanto? So Mariana, you see, no one of us.
Yes.
She's working on her Russian. She is working on her programming skills. I can't program anything. So don't you
course.
even say that you are the smallest of the least. It's not true.
Because we can use these examples not only for our work in the work.
Yeah.
We can use all these examples and experience, share experience in our own life.
Yeah. And Mariana, can you tell us how many friends you have on Facebook and social networks?
Uh, yeah, a few friends.
How many
Lots
are
of
of you?
people.
How many are of you? Your contacts?
Well, Facebook is the place with thousands of people.
Okay,
But
how many thousand do you have? Don't be
maybe
shy,
around
tell us.
1,000. But
Sorry?
maybe 20 of them are real friends.
Okay, I'm not asking about them. I'm asking about contacts. So on Facebook alone, you have more than 1,000. Don't tell me that you are small and insignificant. I know people who have 5 or 6 contacts on Facebook, and they say, well, I spend a lot of time on Facebook. And I say, what do you really do with 5 people? So that's really interesting because mentoring is not the place for those who are developed, who know, who can do everything. Mentoring is for people who love challenges, people who ask themselves questions, or people who are open to be asked questions. So I really appreciate you guys being with us. And I thought that it would be more popular because this is a way of practicing English. But it seems that there are many other factors apart from English and practicing English. So I don't know, maybe in the perfect world, in the perfect timing, more people would join. But this is not my idea. I don't want to advertise on Facebook or do things to attract more people. I don't care if we are 4. If you are really committed, if you are here, I love these discussions because I don't know about you, but you also challenge me very much. So I love sharing what I think, but when you share, I learn from you too. And for me, this is really important. So there is no big one and small one. Everyone has
Yes.
something to share. Okay, and now we're going where? To the zoo! So what did you learn from this crazy chapter? What was your impression when you read it? Did you recognize any department? Did you recognize any, well, of course, not your company, but
No.
somebody they talked about?
I'm sure that there are such places, really. I can imagine how
Really,
there are such places. I
can
don't
you
know,
imagine?
because I know people that are cursing all the time and are never happy with whatever happens to them. And usually such people were not very highly educated, or I don't know how to.
Could be, but Let me just clarify that I know people who are highly educated
No, no.
and
I
they do
mean,
the same.
yeah, probably.
Yeah. I don't think it's connected with education, even though quite often you're right.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to explain it. Not exactly the education.
Mm.
I mean the university or the diploma, the certificate, but the
Environment.
the
Maybe.
knowledge, the I don't know,
Environment, knowledge,
intelligence.
okay.
Intelligence maybe is the better
Skills.
word.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, would you be surprised if I told you that I know doctors with a lot of experience and you wouldn't want to be around them? They're so cynical. They speak such horrible words. They create such an environment that you just feel, oh, I felt dirty around them. I'm a man and I studied medicine. I can tolerate a lot, but that was intolerable. So horrible jokes with women, with people, with patients. So I don't think it has so much to do with that. But do you agree that it is the whole environment? There was something at the end of the chapter. Our journalist reporter,
Yeah.
what did he say?
Which one exactly?
At the end, he said something. Let me just see. That place is a toxic zoo. The whole
Yeah.
place was toxic, and he wrote, I can't do much more time here, or I'll become just like them. So there is something here. If you spend time with such people long enough, you have no other option. You just become part of the environment. Do you agree with that? Isn't it somehow predetermined? Can't you fight it? Can't you change the whole thing? What about all these optimistic guru stuff? You can always do good things. You can always be good to people in this
But
toxic environment.
but to people that want to be changed.
Yeah, but still there will be at least one person who would want. Don't you think so?
Maybe, I
Is
don't
it
know.
possible all of the people to be like that?
I think in this company the change should start from the very top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because usually the leader, the person who is in charge, they are responsible for the environment. In a family, it's the parents, it's
Yeah.
not the children. In a company, it's the management team. They are responsible to put boundaries and say, you can do this, you cannot do that. And that's why it's so important to create the right environment. Do you think that many companies collapse because they cannot really deal with this? It's not so much economic reasons, it's people reasons and lack of skills how to manage. What do you think?
We know.
Of course, not in your companies, okay, but
No, we
companies.
know many examples.
Do you? Can you give us some examples, please?
General Motors.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, but
one
it's
of
a
the.
company of so many years. Don't they have the business culture? Don't they have?
They have, but not the rights, because when they decide, I know about their history, their results. When they decide to be number one in the world, okay, they didn't. They try to expand their market, but without new products. They use the same product with different brands, but they in this way they when I said Pontiac, their customers is they have a different range of customers, but when Pontiac, Cadillac, and Oldsmobile is the same car with different logo, is not the what kind of
Yeah,
customer?
it creates a little bit of confusion.
Yes, and they try to be economically effective with one platform, but we know how Volkswagen use this with
Okay,
one
but
platform.
here more or less this is the product part. It's not the team part and the
Yes, but
two.
don't have. I maybe it's a bad example about that, but people who this center they can learn more than that. They don't have new design center, new this center for to improve their products,
Mhm.
like
Research
academy,
development,
like
okay.
yes.
Hmm?
They didn't talk with people. They just hire new people who they don't have connect with company with history. It's I think that bad management because we talked about the top of the this person they don't know how maybe they can't recognize how big is this company and how many years they try to be number one, and when they
I wouldn't
I
really
don't.
agree because everybody knows when you go for an interview in such a company, you do your research and you know very well. But maybe because today most people say, well, that was old school. Now we're modern. Now we're different. Yeah, we can do it all. They know nothing about globalization. We are the experts. And okay, I could agree that they tried to expand without being prepared and it created, but I think it's more or less management mistake, not so much the team thing and the zoo, because I do believe that this company, they had very good principles, they had very good corporate culture.
When we talked about it, we know about factories in different countries, but they don't have control, big control of them, and we know about failed production, defect cars. After that they try to when other company expanded in the USA market. They try with not with fair play. They try to to use their lobby and try to push other company to the market with
Unfair means.
unfair means. Yes,
Okay. Sorry.
I'm not sure that it's a right strategy. And we know.
Okay, I'm glad that you think that way. I don't think it's the right strategy either. Okay, Steffi, what about you? You said that you have heard of such companies. Do you know people who work in such companies? Has anybody complained about this horrible environment and this kind of zoo mentality in the company?
No, I haven't. I haven't heard about such companies, but I said that I know such people, and I can
Okay.
imagine them getting together and working in, I don't know, in such teams and not really realizing that the atmosphere is really toxic.
Yeah, yeah.
But really, I don't have an example to give.
Guys, you really live in paradise, I should tell you. You know, almost all of my students just tell me, give me some good employee. I need good employees. Even I had one person just, I think it was last month, and they said, could you please find someone because I need to fire somebody that steals from me, and I caught them stealing, but I don't have anyone to replace them with. And the others started stealing because they saw that this person goes unpunished. And I was really shocked. And I said, that's not possible. There should be someone. And my student said, believe me, we tried. We contacted many HR agencies and this and that. And I was really shocked because maybe it's becoming quite common. Not because people are so bad. But imagine you have been working in such an environment and they fire you. You go to the next job. What do? You carry your bag with you.
Yeah.
So you know how things are done. And if you don't have really strict management to say no, you can continue. And did you notice those guys smoking that special cigarette? Unfortunately, I was shocked when a friend told me that's normal at work. They smoke grass, and he talked to the manager, and the manager said, I don't care whatever they use to be motivated. As long as they achieve results, it's fine with me.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
I don't think they can achieve results.
They do. They do because they are salesmen. They're very pushy. They shout at people. Quite often people purchase things just to get rid of them. Of course, this is not loyal customers. This is a one-time customer.
Yeah.
But because they work with the world, they think, oh, we have billions. But in fact, there was something interesting here that I want to discuss. Dysfunctional managers at the top create dysfunctional managers all the way down the authority ladder. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Why? Isn't it possible? Because everybody have their own responsibility.
But when we talked about it, we need to following rules to. I think that our leader will need to be expire and to be the right leader, because
Inspiration.
yes, to make us inspiration, because
Okay, they are inspiration. They smoke grass.
not it's not this way, because they didn't know who is the top of the ladder. They didn't know. They don't know. I think they couldn't see the big picture.
Okay. So what about this one? Unresolved issues breed resentment and revenge. Did you notice all these bags that in fact they were the biggest problem?
Yeah.
What was in the bags? What is unresolved issues?
Any.
What did you notice in the chapter? What were those issues?
They pushed their backs.
Okay, that was a physical thing, but how did they communicate with one another?
And they didn't feel recognized by the head office or whatever they call it. They didn't feel anything to be to coming to them besides the complaints if the production is not right. No, I don't think they have even the right instructions how to do their job better, and the right control.
Yeah, absolutely. And it brings all these unresolved issues. You cannot just wake up in the morning and say, oh, it's over. So they breed, they bring, they produce horrible things. And usually the first symptom is anger. You can notice resentment is the quiet anger that you can notice in the words. People say the right words, but in such a horrible tone of voice that it's hurtful. For example, some people say, good morning. And you feel kind of, ooh, why did I say hello? So it's the right words, but you can see what's coming together with the words, because this resentment, this anger, it's coming out. Let me help you. Really. So angry people are unproductive. First of all, why? Why are they unproductive? An angry person, usually they even work faster because they think about why they are angry.
But they don't work with care.
Yeah, they're careless. Usually when you're angry, you don't focus on details. And they're contagious. So it's like the Chinese virus. When you have one angry person, usually they're toxic about the whole environment. And what should the manager do? Not go and tell them, stop being angry, but just take them to their office and say, can you tell me what the problem is? Can I help in some way to solve the problem? I can see that there is some problem. No, nothing. Okay, could you tell me more about that nothing? So this is what I believe managers should learn. These interpersonal skills, not so much team building, not all the banquets that they go to and all the games that they play. Nobody needs games. People need help. And if managers cannot help, and if they are insensitive, this angry person becomes contagious. And they can destroy the whole environment. Bigger bags are linked to more toxic emotions. Lubomir, what's in the bags?
Bags.
Whatever it is, it's toxic.
Yes, but yeah, they have a big bags. They can see each other, and they have, especially for quality control, they fell down their backs into displays, and they don't care about it.
Yeah. So the whole thing, the whole company is unsalvageable. You cannot save this company. You cannot rescue this company because people are totally dysfunctional. And we will continue with the bags. But for me, these conclusions at the end are quite sobering, just to wake up and see the reality. Because quite often we see one person who is out of line. They're kind of standing alone, they have their own problems, nobody helps them. And everybody believes, well, he's a big person. If they need help, they will come and ask. Not always. Quite often people cannot ask for help because they don't trust other people. They know that usually they haven't been helped. And usually when they wanted some help, somebody used their problems against them. And that's why they don't want to share. And we shouldn't expect them to share, but we should try to find a way how to say, well, maybe I cannot help so much, but at least I can listen and I will not tell anyone. Could you please share what the problem is? And quite often, just by saying it out, there is power in words. And when people start speaking, they release a lot of the power inside, because anger is a great power. It is destructive. And you cannot release anger just by not thinking about the problem. You need to release the energy. That's why psychologists have found ways. You hit a pillow, or you kick some paper, or you do something to have physical expression to release this power, this energy that is building, because it's going to burst, usually on the wrong person. And we will talk about anger management later because there are some good ways how to manage. But I think anger is one of the biggest problems. So quite often we see angry people that don't receive help. They're toxic because they are like a time bomb. They're going to explode quite soon, usually in the worst moment. So I'm so happy that you work in Paradise. I'm so happy that you don't have such people. It's quite possible that your managers are doing a very good job and they notice such people and they deal with the problems immediately. But what I told the other group on personal development, I believe that our power here in Mentoring Club is I receive something, I get some ideas, I get some things, not just for me. I need to share with someone else. Not what I heard George say, but what I came to the conclusion. I somehow got the idea. It enlightened me. Share with someone else. It might help them too. And what do you do when you share? You just share and you say, well, this is what I noticed. This is what came to mind. And I wanted to share with you. Okay, but what about that? I don't know about that. This is my part. This is what I got. Well, but what about, and you don't need to argue because this is one piece. And this is something that is very personal. You're not a professor of psychology to have all the answers because they have all the answers. All these professors. No, some of them are good. But yeah, let's start. This year, I really believe in activating all the members to start paying it forward. Have you seen the film, Pay It Forward? Oh, you should watch it. It's a very good film. Pay it forward. It means I have something I need to share with somebody else. And there was one little boy who started a whole movement. Pay it forward, pay it forward. And I do believe that this is the way to change the environment around us, the lives of people around us. Not because we change them, but something that we share. It starts challenging them too. Okay, Mariana, any final thoughts and words? You've been such a wonderful listener. You are incredible.
And you were talking about practical things. That's why I was listening.
Okay.
Because I sometimes have people who talk to me as well, and I know what you mean.
Because you're a very good listener. I know people trust you. Yeah. Okay, so how do you help them?
Unfortunately, I cannot hack them, but
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. By listening. This is the greatest help. Lubomir knows that I can't help him very much with that because I talk too much. But I help in other ways.
Yes, you help me because after that I started thinking and
You are simply the best. Even when I cannot help, you make me feel that I can.
Of course you can.
Okay. So yes, Mariana, don't disregard all the small things that you do because sometimes it's a small thing that starts the big avalanche. It's a small ball of snow or a stone or something, but when it goes all the way down the mountain, it can really be something huge, and we could never know. We just do our part, we share. You know what? I was at that discussion last night, and this crazy guy gave me an idea, and I was challenged. And even if you mention something like that, it can start working in somebody's mind. Okay, are you ready to share with others and pay forward? Yeah! Okay, next time we will not be in the zoo. Next time, oops, got a book, the wrong book. Next time we are going to Exposed. How does that sound? Like Agatha
Yeah.
Christie or Arthur Conan Doyle. The criminal is being exposed. Well, it's only 2.5 pages, but I think it is a challenging read. So I'll do my best to so that you can have it maybe tomorrow, and you can go through it. Think about it and tell me, do you think of a specific person that you can share with? Next time we will start with that.
All right.
All right? Thank you for being so cooperative. Have a good evening, guys. Thank you
You
so
too.
much for
You
being
too.
together.
Thank
Bye
you.
and see you.
Bye bye.